Okay, next thing we're going to talk about
is the phenolic. This really became one of the real innovations of the industry once we got into interlocking phenolic. Because prior to that, really, guys used straight edges, and whenever they got to radiuses, they would either have to freehand cut them or make a second template, or use a tool and try to grind a radius into it. What these allowed people to do was to take, using corner pieces, which are of all different values. This happens to be a 1-inch inside and outside corner. And what you were able to do is you could take, and using, you didn't want to use a hammer because you'll damage these, but something like a rubber mallet or a dead blow hammer, you can take, you can interlock the pieces,
right.
So you can see they won't come apart, and you could take two pieces quite simply by interlocking them.
Right.
You've got either an inside or an outside L.
Right.
So when you're doing, go ahead.
This same fixture in an aluminum fixture runs about $200. Mm-hmm. But when you can interchange all of these, you've got the same fixture over and over again for any inside and outside
Correct.
corner, which is really handy.
And as you can see, this will interlock with, there's 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch,
there's a 6 inch,
6 inch, 90 degree, which this is critical. This is great when you do a cooktop cutout, because
right.
Obviously for an inside corner on a countertop, you want to have a minimum of a 1-inch radius, which is what we have here.
That's correct.
This will give you a 1/4 inch, but this is great for cooktops. Sometimes some sinks you have to use them. That allows you to do that.
Now, you know, we've had, customers that when I talk to people, I'm sorry, there's somebody out there just waving. I know, we have a commercial coming up. Okay, 5 minutes.
That's why getting blind with lasers.
Okay, seriously, people ask about the phenolic and whether or not it will bend or not. And yes, if you're going to do a long section, an 8-foot section, it may bend. But simply to do that, all you have to do is either put a vacuum pod behind it, a glue block behind it to stop it from bowing, and it's no problem. Now, another thing that I want to mention with long straight edges, like a 12-foot straight edge, they're expensive and they're easily damaged. What I recommend is if you need to do a long edge, okay, say you needed to do a 15-foot edge, of course you wouldn't do it with this one, but let's say with this one you had to do one that was a little bit longer. All you'll do is take 3 glue blocks, put one at this end, one in the middle, one at this end, and then sliding it against those glue blocks, put a 4th glue block. Then when you get all those in, you just bring it back, you'll route along the straight edge, and you'll just slide it as you go. So the whole movement, you get a nice straight edge, and you don't have to spend money on a 12-foot straight edge, because I guarantee, folks, it is going to get damaged in your shop very quickly. It's expensive to freight it, it's expensive to purchase it, and once it's damaged, you're going to end up with a bunch of small pieces.
Now another thing you could do is you could take your 4-foot straight edge and your 8-foot straight edge, and you could use this handy joiner plate right here.
You can, yes.
And by taking this and tapping that on,
right.
And this is a 31-inch and a 41-inch straight edge.
Right.
Now I have a long straight edge that way, so
now,
I could join a 4.
Is that in fact very straight? Do we know? I mean, is that?
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
do you think
it
that's
is.
really?
Oh yeah, I've done it before. I've used it.
Okay.
It's no problem at all.
Right. And now, especially, we didn't talk about this base here, but this base here, rather than running a bearing or a template guide along this edge, if you run this base along the edge, you're actually broadcasting out the small imperfections that could appear in a top or in an edge anywhere. Let's say you had a big gash in here where you ran a router bit. If you ran this over it, it wouldn't make any difference. It would pass right over it. And the nice thing about this base is 2 edges are a 1/16th closer to the center than the other. So you can make a rough cut, and then you can rotate it and make a second finish cut.
Just by rotating it 90 degrees.
Right. But I think we're, you know, it's a great set, and if we have any questions on it, we can talk about it after commercial. I think we're ready to go. Oh, we have 1 minute. We need to stretch it out a little bit.
That gives me some more time, because a couple things I wanted to point out is this set also comes with, and I know we have a 45 around here somewhere. But
we do, but it's not, well, we don't have it here.
This is the 22.5. It also comes with 45 and 22.5 degree inside-outside corners, which are very common for guys working on countertops. And then also the small handy extension, so when you do a return,
that's right. Yeah,
you can bang that on there, and then connect this to one of the longer edges, and you've got your finished return on a countertop. So the Phenolic, it offered a whole different change in a different direction for people in fabrication as far as doing countertops.
But there is a place for aluminum.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
It's a scrapyard.
It's just, all right. We'll be back.